Now, these are a couple tools that we can use, as well as these to get us started, to get us going here. When we're working through this stuff, underneath, for me it's underneath my video here. For you it might be down at the bottom. This is our play setting. A lot of the time too, you can hit spacebar to play and stop the video. So I'm looking, I kind of like that. I want to cut it right there and get rid of the rest. So down here is our razor tool. I'm going to cut that video here and I'm going to delete. Gone. I just hit the delete key to get rid of it. So you can go through. I just wanted this nice monument before I got too far behind it. Now that, even there, that's a little bit too far behind it. If I want to really fine tune these dots on the end of this bar, if I slide them together, that's zooming in, and it zooms in around this blue line. So make sure to, if I were, let me just show you what I mean. If this were over here and I started zooming in, it's zooming in on this video clip. So put your playhead, I think sometimes it's our scrub line, where you want it. I think it gets too far right there, so I might cut right here. Get rid of that bit, right? Now, if you've done the audio module, we've got M, S, and this is like our R. We can record right into here if we've got a microphone set up. We can solo this track so we can only hear this. This line through the middle separates the top and the bottom. The top is our video. The bottom, if we look, there's our wave scribble, is our audio. We can adjust, we can mute. So if I wanted this audio a lot louder, I don't really want the original audio because it's probably whoever's filming it, there might be talking like, oh, can you hold the door, or I'm gonna pan this way. We want to get rid of that stuff. We want to put some nicer music in the background like some of the ones that we saw. But same idea. Here is our volume envelope line or automation line. We can adjust that stuff. We can put in, kind of like we saw in animation, keyframes in there to adjust, to automate that. I'm going to just mute it for now. We're going to focus on the video part of it for now. And I'm going to bring over my drone footage. Let's see what we've got here. I don't really like that scene too much because now he goes down and adjusts. I'm going to start right here. So I'm going to clip. I'm going to delete that first bit. I'm going to slide that back. Let's see what we got now. We got this cool flying in. This footage obviously was before the monument was there. I don't think anyone would pick up on that. That's kind of neat. It goes up by the big tower, and maybe I cut there. Now, normally we'd have a lot more video than just 3, but I'm just showing you, getting things started. Let's suppose this is taking too long. Look, flying, 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 spinning. I'm going to show you another tool that'll allow me to speed this up a little bit, and then coming up here. Okay, I like it. I might even cut a little bit earlier. But anyways, I'm going to click and hold and jump to this rate stretch tool. I'm going to come on to this clip and I am going to decrease the rate. Click up here, and now we're going to see that whole clip, but in a little bit of a fast forward motion. If I want it even quicker, I could make it even quicker. If I wanted to do part of it quicker, like suppose I just wanted the first little bit quicker, I could make a cut. Let me come back to this tool. So it's flying here and it stops there. I want that first bit. Maybe I think that's too long. I'm going to get my rate tool. I'm going to speed that up. I'm going to get my second tool. I got that. I'm flying in really fast. I'm spinning. And then I'm going up nice and slow. Almost seamless, that transition between the speeds there. Okay, there's a couple clips. I'm going to bring in my last clip over here. And then it's almost like inside the tower is Comtech. Ooh, now this one started playing the audio because if I notice down here, the audio is on a different track. I can pull it up here, back with this one. If I wanted to delete audio, I could right click, and first I need to unlink the audio from the video. So I've unlinked them. I can delete that audio if I wanted to. Okay, I could do that for this one as well. Again, I'll show you. Right click on that video or the audio, say unlink, delete that audio. Now I don't even need to mute this track anymore. I'm only working with the video. And I can bring in eventually any audio that I want. So if I have on my computer, because I do radio, or maybe some of that music that we edited. Wait, no, not in. That's my music. Here's my music folder. Anything. I don't know if I necessarily have something good off the top of my head. Yeah, I can't think of anything. Maybe some Caribou. Caribou's just kind of some instrumental music. Oop. I'm going to grab one from here, import that. To be honest, I have no idea what this is going to sound like. If we notice, this song doesn't start right away, too. If I look, if I zoom in here, maybe I need to crop this like that, and I could put a fade on it, move it back. Let's hear. Can't put too much. Caribou is actually, they're a Canadian band from Dundas, which is my original hometown. I might have to delete that part because of copyright on YouTube. We'll see. Anyway, I'm just going to delete that for a second, but that is how we would import our audio there for our video. We got a whole bunch of things going on here. We've done some cuts, we've done some speed changes. The next thing that we may want to do is add some text. There's a couple ways that we can add text. We can easily use this text tool and type on there something like that. This creates a static text. So this text, static meaning it's not moving. If we look, there's our res CSS. I probably would want to cut it. It looked kind of cool there. Maybe if I put it in the right spot, see it in the sky, it almost looks like a cloud. Cool. Now if I want it, same idea, cut with that transition, delete that bit there. Now it's gone when it jumps to the next scene. Cool. There's some static text. If you want some moving text, if we jump up here, up at the top, we've got a couple things here, and if we go to graphics, now my screen kind of jumped to the other side because of how I had it set before. I'm going to pull this up here. It may change your screen a little bit because these are all different areas here. You can hover and it may show it better on your screen. Mine it's quite choppy just because it is trying to figure it out. But this is some moving text. So we could pull one of these in and we could click on the one that we want there and go to edit and insert name title. So maybe I add here same thing as I wrote on the other one. Now I'm going to go back to editing just because it's a little bit taxing on my system to be in the other one. And if we watch, now up at the top here, yellow, it means this one's not fully rendered. If it's green up here, it should show it perfectly. For me, this one's red. So this is completely not fully rendered. It may be choppy when you're watching it in this mode. Let's see. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. That looks not too bad. That one looks not too bad. See how it's starting to get a little bit choppy there, and then it fizzles out, and then it goes back. Now the rest of my video is choppy because of that one. So what I could do is I could come up here, and sometimes this takes a little bit, so I won't completely do it, is render into out. So what that does is it renders your whole thing so that that top bar should be green so you can watch. It may not, just from adding animated text, it may not go red on the school computers. It all is based upon the memory that's in the computer and how good the computer is. My computer at home is an i5. It does have lots of memory in it, but the computers at school are i7s. I don't think they have as much memory as my computer, but it's hard to tell what's better. i7s are much better computers than i5s, and it depends upon the generation and everything. I think mine's older. Anyway, so we've talked about importing some moving text, some static text, cutting. The only thing, what else do we want to do? Ooh, some effects. Let's look at some effects here. So if I click the effects tab, again, it opened my video in the other screen there. But what I made, so there's a bunch of effects over here. I'm going to look at a video effect. Actually, I'm going to look at a video transition. And I'm going to come here to dissolve. And I'm going to use, it's already highlighted, this is the one that I use the most often, is a cross dissolve. So I'm going to pull it in here, and what it's doing is if I scrub through, instead of it being a hard cut like over here, that scene, oh, this wasn't a hard cut, that was the same thing, that scene, this scene. So that's like a hard cut. It goes from this scene, boom, to this scene. With this crossfade I just added, we're watching this scene, and it's slowly, we notice in the background of the video, we're starting to see some of the other scenes. So this is a crossfade. These two are fading into each other, and it makes a little bit of a softer transition. You could play with a whole bunch of these. There's 3D cross ones, these ones are for immersive videos like the 3D video, but there's a whole bunch, slides, wipes. I like mainly just the dissolve. Most people use just the dissolve, but there are a whole ton. You could play with a whole ton of different transition types there. And at the very end, maybe I want my whole video to fade to black. Now, if I were really doing this, I would have a lot more video clips in here, and it fades to black. Same thing if we had audio in here, we would jump into our audio transitions, and I'm going to do an exponential fade at the end, and that will fade out the music instead of it just cutting. Maybe right in the middle of the song, because if I imported that Caribou song again, it would cut right in the, because the song's 3 minutes and my commercial's 24 seconds. I want to do an exponential fade, so instead the music fades out and it feels more natural. If I want this dip or the exponential fade on my audio to be longer, I just come up here, grab it, and make it longer. Now that fade is happening for a lot longer, and maybe that feels more natural. Oops, I hit play again. Okay, there are a bunch of different things. Exporting, we're going to say File, Export, Media. We're going to get a new screen here. Again, we're going to choose this H.264. Okay, H.264, we can click on here and change the name. We can call it my Res Commercial or Pure Res. We're going to create it as an MP4. It shows here that it's going to be at 1080p, and we would hit export. It may be a lot quicker on the new computers. I remember that we used to set this up on the old computers, and it used to take hours. We would have to sometimes leave it running, leave class, and I would have to log people out. Now I think we could probably even get it done before we leave if we give ourselves 5 or 10 minutes at the end of class to export. On my computer it might still take a little bit longer, so I'm going to click cancel, but you would click export here to export your work. Anyways, I hope all this stuff helps you. If you have questions, again, I'm going to be circulating around and can help you go through anything you might not be understanding.